Boxing is about discipline, determination, and testing your limits. It's not just about winning. It's about the journey to get there. That's the real victory.
Great fight. Probably the two most improved heavyweights on the planet.
You know, for me, that's a 50-50, genuinely 50-50 fight. I can't pick a winner. Even if I wanted to, I can't pick a winner.
What a fight. I can't pick a winner because look at how Parker's been performing.
Parker delivers in the biggest fight of his life.
Back on Daniel, definitely.
I would be far from shocked if Parker was to win. I think Parker's all wrong for him.
I think Daniel will stop him in the first 4 or 5 rounds.
Joseph Parker's on such great form at the moment. I think it's a terrific matchup.
Fighters say it all the time, but it seems like you are in the best moment of your career. Do you agree with that?
I am. I found what works. You know, with the training and the rest and the balance in life. And, you know, I have a great team, and Andy Lee, and the work I do with George as well. And I have been in form. I've had a good win over Deontay and Zhang, but this fight that we have with Dubois is a different challenge. But, you know, I haven't been in the ring for a while now. The last fight was Zhang in March. But I have been building away. I have been working away in New Zealand with Andy here in Ireland. And when the fight time comes, I feel like I'm going to be a better fighter than I was for Wilder and for Zhang.
People often talk, I mean, you mentioned it earlier about improving fighters, and I think a great example of that is Joseph Parker. I mentioned to him earlier, he's arguably, you know, the form fighter in the heavyweight division. It's not been completely smooth sailing. You had the Joe Joyce fight, you had the Jack Massey fight, which wasn't Joe's best night. What did you learn about Joe? What did Joe have to do to really put him in a position to have those great wins on the back of that? Because there was a lot of people who were looking at Joseph on the back of the Joe Joyce performance, wondering whether or not he had anything left. Would this be the end of Joseph Parker? And obviously fast forward a couple of years later and he's in arguably the best position he's been in.
Well, the Joe Joyce fight was a back and forth fight, which he lost in the 11th round. It was a great fight. It was a very entertaining fight. They both put a lot into it. You know, it wasn't like a one-sided beatdown. I think Joe realised, like, we had some tough words after the Massey fight. After a loss, you're always going to be hesitant, and I don't think Joe was in a pretty good place at the time. And I said to him after that, we have to, you know, if you want to do this, you really have to change. And we started to work. And I said, don't worry about big money fights. Fight as much as you can, as many times as you can, and we'll let the money worry about itself. And that's what we did. And we got fights, and then he won. They picked up, you know, Australia, Keane, and then they got the big fight with Wilder. So that's the way it's been. That's the way it's been.
There's many aspects of what we've improved in the boxing. You know, there's the technique, there's the skills, there's sitting down your punches, there's, you know, rotate. There's all sorts of things that we've been working on. As a fighter who's been in the game for a long time, we're still working on many things, as you can see today. Still correcting things and still working on things, and you're never gonna be a fighter who has everything. It's always going to be work in progress, and that's what I love about boxing.
But yeah, he's changed his career, and he's got 2 signature wins that will stand the test of time. You know what I mean? Whenever he retires, he can look back and say, "I beat Deontay Wilder. I beat Zhilei Zhang." You know, who at the time was on top of the game. See, the great thing about Joe, with the experience he has, he's fought Deontay Wilder. Dubois not as big as puncher as Wilder or Zhang, but Zhang's arguably a bigger puncher than Wilder. And he's been in with those two. The physique of Dubois, he's not bigger than Zhang. He's not as fast as Wilder. So Joe's faced all these things that Dubois has, but not to the same extent. You know what I mean? That's the great thing for Joe, that he's been in there with these big punches. He's been in there with these speedsters. He's been in there with southpaws. All of them probably do what Dubois does, but to a better extent. That's where his experience comes into play. We know it's a hard fight. Dubois is a tough man. He's in a great position. He's proved that he's got that resilience now. And yeah, Joe's just got to box smart, pick his shots, and when his opportunity comes, take it.
It's been feeling pretty good. It's been a great camp. So like under 4 weeks to go. There's still a lot of work to be done. But each and every day we're getting better, we're putting in work, we're progressing, seeing improvements. And by the fight time, everything's going to come together nicely. The great thing is, starting camp and I'm already in good shape. It's just about building into it now and working more on just things with Andy, technique, skill, game plan, also working with George. But you know, as time goes on, as camp goes on, you see the improvements and it makes you more excited for the fight, you know, happy, and everything's progressing the right way.
Like a caged lion. Right shoulder up. And when I come, step back, right hand, left hook. Yeah? That's all. Right shoulder, there. Nice. Double. Double. Rest.
Boxing Daniel Dubois, you mentioned those big names that you've had those wins over in the last 12 to 18 months or so. Do you think this is the most dangerous fight out of those fights, Daniel Dubois? He's a man in form, obviously had the win over AJ, win over Hrgovic.
Probably the most dangerous fight right now because of the form that he's been in, but also the confidence that he's gained. And he has those wins, you know, Miller, Hrgovic and Joshua, and he's on top of the world right now. I think he's on top of the world in terms of his confidence, believing in himself and finding something that he probably didn't know he had.
It's dangerous. It's as dangerous as you make it. If he wants to stand and hold his feet, then it's very dangerous. If he's smart and boxes the way he can, uses his experience and his cleverness, it's less dangerous. Still a dangerous fight, but it's less dangerous.
The plan is to go in there and win. Go in there and win and break him down. He's full of confidence and he's got a great team behind him. And he, you know, compared to Zhang and Wilder, Dubois is very busy and he punches with a lot of power as well. So I have to break him down. Whatever game plan we have, you know, go in there and execute it and follow it and get the win.
But it's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of work and enjoyable, all fun, great times. To be so successful, it's always good. To win this one will be nice because it's world title. Things go to plan. He'll beat Daniel Dubois, and that'll be the icing on the cake, or, you know, the cherry on the cake. But hopefully he'll win it, and then we'll be looking for the next fight.
Right, Joe, before I let you go, wouldn't be right not to end on yourself and your big fight with Daniel Dubois on February the 22nd. So I want you to, you're usually pretty good at these ones, I want you to look into that camera there and I want you to tell the world what they're going to see on February 22nd when Joseph Parker challenges Daniel Dubois.
The world is going to see the new IBF champion of the world. Lupe Zhilei la Joseph Parker.